Hello. So it seems we have one viewer. So that's great. So I'll get started. And hopefully you can see my screen. Although there's a 30-second delay. In fact, we're going to show a video of Condoist and Bijan, and we're going to send out this video.
Hi, my name is Bijan, and I'll be showing you the Condoist. So this is the home page. We're showing the About Jenkins Row message. We're going to go ahead and log in using the menu button. So we sign in as a concierge named Zoe McConnell. She can immediately set that she's back at her desk.
So just to talk about what we're doing here, we have a video that we're going to send out. We're going to also do a live session here, and you can chat with me if you'd like. I don't know if you can see the chat, but basically what we have here is the same thing as we have here in the live demo. And so we have a package here that we can use. Otherwise, we can use a scanner to scan a package. This is from a concierge perspective, so this is a concierge profile. We can choose what kind of package it is, and we can add it. That gets added immediately. When somebody comes in, they can sign for the package. And for example, we have a package that I just signed for. And so I can sign it, and the task is done. It's been signed out. Okay, that's what that is showing.
We're away from the desk. And if we were to log in as a resident, which we're doing now, we're signing in as Jack McLean, who's a regular resident and unit owner. You can see that Zoe's away right now. And when she puts that she's back, Jack can see that she's back at her desk. The concierge can filter through today's events. They can add packages, which we're doing right now.
And I'm going to pause it again to see if I got any comments or feedback from that. So basically, what you saw is, what we just saw is that this is the concierge perspective. This is a resident perspective. You can see resident Jack McLean. I'm going to log in as the resident Jack McLean. And what we'll see here is that Jack has a dashboard. You can see what the concierge status is. The concierge can change her status. And if you refresh the page for Jack, you will see that now the concierge is not there. This is good for residents who live across the hall.
And
we've already seen the package management, so I'm going to skip this part.
Sample forms here. The bylaw pulls out this
Next, I'm going to show you guys the forms.
As a resident, we can have forms. We have forms. I've added a few sample forms here of the bylaw violation. Someone's reporting a dog mess in the lobby, and it's as simple as filling out the bylaw violation. This is completely configurable. We can add additional forms. We can enable workflow on these forms so that it gets into the manager's queue or somebody's queue. like working finish requests. You can also add front desk instructions for the concierge to be able to search and filter through for units. You can activate or deactivate the front desk instructions.
These instructions can also be made for keys
we have a calendar
or
and
anything else as
reservation
well.
system for which residents can go and block off time for any events that they would like to block off time for.
Now, calendar reservation system. So I'll show you that basically the form section we just talked about is this one right here. I'll go to it here. This is the form that we just saw. This would send off an email, and basically it's successfully submitted. We can also edit our instructions here, and the concierge can search and filter through these instructions very easily. Next, what we showed was a calendar functionality, and we can go to full screen mode with the calendar. It's very nice to see in full screen. And basically, with the calendar, we get to see different views of the calendar. We have a month view, etc. And basically, we have different calendars that we can look at. You can see one is a kind of top reserve. There's different amenities reserve, and so we can have, and this is how we would do our basically reserve an event.
And then they would have to make the necessary payments for the management, who would then need to approve the event for it to actually be reserved. And the proper instructions can be added here. It's completely customizable. They can see easily what the resources that we're trying to reserve are available for the time period that we're reserving them or not. So we can also add reminders as well as tags for our event, which can be used to show us relevant events, etc. Next, we're going to log in as a board member. A board member has everything that every other user can do in the system. In this system, the board member reflects a condominium board member who is really representative of the unit owners association. As such, they see a lot of activities in the building. If you look at Jack, he didn't have as much activities. And Jack can only see, for example, documents that the board has put out for them. Or if the board would like, they can make certain folders for folks to be able to add to. But right now, all the folders are read-only to residents. So, for example, you can see document minutes, you can download and access via WebDAV. So it feels like a native folder on your desktop. Board members have additional functionality such as adding folders, setting permissions, adding files, etc.
So just to recap, basically this is what you're seeing here is the resident view. This is the resident Jack McLean, and then we also have board member role. That our demo board member is called Kevin Pinter, and we can log in as Kevin here. Log in as Kevin. Kevin can see in the system. Kevin is a board member who, per the condominium bylaws, is kind of like our representative. So they have ultimate say in things. They're kind of the overall, the user that has privileges to everything on the site. Whereas a lot of other systems, like our current one, the building manager has all the privileges, and it's a little bit different because it was made for apartments as opposed to condominiums. So it's kind of not in line with our day-to-day workflow, whereby the manager kind of seeks approval of the board for certain things and goes and implements them. It's kind of backwards on our website right now. And what we're seeing there is that for the documents, document management, the board has access to everything. They can see resident signatures. We just signed for one right now, and so this is the one we just signed for. And so a lot of the functionality here is from that perspective that the board member has.
And additional functionality. All the members can search. For example, the board member can see the signatures captured by the concierge. Next, we're going to look at voting functionality from a board member's perspective, and you can see this. The votes pending right now are some test votes I've added to the system. And
I'm not sure if the audio is coming through, so I'm just going to repeat that. This is from a board member's perspective who can add votes for us to take electronically, so that we don't have to show up particularly at a special meeting or something to vote. Per the condominium law of 2014, we can add, we can have
basically
votes
what you
online
can do is
if we choose to.
go ahead and select a vote and read the description and cast your vote. And board members can add votes, can set reminders, and can add options as they like. They can also choose to have a vote be multi-select and also be weighted based on the unit owner percentage, unit percent ownership in the building, which is defined in the declaration. Also, they can set a time from to date for the votes to be shown. So they can withdraw their votes and look at any votes they have made in the past. Additionally, if you have multiple units, the system is smart enough to know that and allow you to pick which unit you're voting as when you make your vote select, when you cast your ballot. And the votes will become anonymous once they're made, but only unit owners can vote. So additionally, our front page, we can manage our front pages here simply by editing the articles here. This one's already pending, so we can save.
Okay, and just to show all of this on the site real quick, basically the voting pages for the board members is right here, and we can see the votes that we have pending. I just added a whole lot of test votes, but we can vote right here. Additionally, we can look at our past votes, make new votes, etc. And we would usually send out a notice with regard to our what votes we want to make, and then come and do it here. And creating the vote has a workflow process, so it's not just like a board member can do it off the cuff. The board member can initiate it, and another board member would have to approve it in order for it to actually be a vote. So we can see this article is pending. You can see some of our front page photos that we have. This is the stuff we see when we go to jenkinsroad.net. So this is what we see when we go to the About page or the Amenities page. Once we go here, we can see these articles. That's what these things are. So you can see there's a description, etc., and that is coming from right here. And these would have all go through workflow processes in order to be changed. So
changes to it to update the submission, but in fact, it's already pending for approval. This one's already approved. So basically, it means that someone's already approved it. These are pictures that we see out on the front page on the amenity section of the site. These are also workflow enabled since these are all on public pages. A board member would have to approve in order for these to go live. And the same as with the nearby tab, and my submissions tab allows you to see which submissions you've made for content changes or any other workflow changes that you've made.
And just to mention, you can also interact
Next, we're
with
going to
the
look at the
files
tasks section, which
via a
shows us
protocol called web that lets you basically interact with them as if they're on your computer. So that's good for the manager or board members who want to bulk upload files or move files around as if it was on the native.
The tasks that we have on our plate as a board member, we may have various types of tasks on our plate. For example, a review task for changes to public content, which is something that we see here. We see a content update that was made 13 days ago. And if we click on that, we'll get more information about it, and we'll be able to make an action decision on it. So we see it was sent by Vision the Fury, and basically the change just takes out a single line at the end of the text, at the end of the message, and we can approve or reject it. And basically, it will also notify the submitter and other board members so that they know they don't need to take any more action on it. Next, we look at the forums, which are permission-based. So we will have section areas for just the board members, which is this one. So it's talking about last night's hypothetical alarm issue, and Kevin has made a post here with a picture of a bell, and you can see who's participating in the forums. There's a little ranking system. Also, our forums have, our board members can have full functionality on the forums, adding, removing, blocking, moderating, etc. If they don't like a certain, if they find that a certain post is in violation of bylaws or in general terms and use of our website, then basically they can take action against it. Also, again, it's permission based, so we have unit owner only sections as well as board only, as well as general sections that anybody can see, including the concierge. And
so just to reiterate that point, basically what we have here is, as a board member, we can see everything. So if you go to the forum section of the dashboard, what we'll notice is that we can see all three categories. If we go there as a regular resident, though, we'll only see condominium general discussion as well as unit owner specific, because actually Jack McLean is a unit owner, he can see this. But if he wasn't a unit owner, he wouldn't be able to see it. Whereas the board member can also see the board members only section. So that's what anyway permission is. Whereas currently our website, the manager can see everything, the concierge can see everything, and that's not how it's supposed to be in a condominium. That's how it's supposed to be in an apartment, not in a condominium.
Next, we'll look at the classify section of the site. This is completely configurable. For now, we just have certain categories set there. Anybody can post in the classifies. The post will expire in 7 days. They can repost it with a click of a button, and they can manage the post, etc. And anybody can contact somebody with regard to a posting without actually, without you having to give any contact details necessarily on how it's best to contact you. So when you fill out this contact form, it will send off an email to your email address, and if you'd like to reply, you can go ahead and reply. Next, I'd like to show you the statistics feature of the site. So basically, we'll keep track of some statistics to encourage participation and appreciate users who are active and contributing. So there's different ways to gain participation points as well as contribution points. So this is a quick chart of how overall contribution has been going and individual ranking. Also, we have a full-featured wiki, which users can update. And there's version history control on this, and so it's a great place to put information for new members to check out. Also, there's management functionality, allowing for management to basically search units, etc. Even for the board, this is the resident perspective, this is the board perspective. The board perspective can see everything, all the units and everything in it, whereas the unit owner can only see the entities that they're a part of or owner of. So they'll be able to see common elements as well as their own unit. But the board can see all the unit owners, can see all the unit information, update any of them, etc., etc. Whereas self-service is available for residents.
It's also important to note that the management can also use the same functionality. They will be able to have access to all of these functions to manage the.
And the management will also have
and they'll also have
pretty much the same functionality as the board here. They'll be able to update any information, add new units, etc. Well, add new members to a unit, deactivate users, etc.
And the unit owner can edit their own profile. So this is a self-service option.
So you can see there's a lot of information with regard to members that we can add. Multiple phone numbers, addresses, etc. And if a member, we're going to get information incrementally from members. So if Jack here fills out the questionnaire that we asked them on the dashboard and click submit, basically once we check out his profile, or refresh his profile, we'll be able to see that that information has been populated for management or anybody else to see. So this way, instead of overwhelming the user with asking a lot of questions, they'll be able to incrementally give information. Also, there's a feedback button on every page of the site, allowing people to give anonymous, quick feedback with regard to their experience, if they've had any issues. We'll check this very regularly, and anything that comes from our community is very, very important to us. We take it very seriously, and we'll follow up on everyone. Of course, it's optional to give your contact information if you'd like to be contacted. with regard to that issue, but it's just a quick way for you to drop a note to say that how your experience was that day. And basically, you can also chat on the site with the concierge. This is Jack sending a message to Zoe, and this is the direct message chat. There's also a group chat for you to participate with everybody who is online at the moment. It's a kind of fire and forget type of thing where we don't actually bother anybody about the messages that are sent. It's just that if you're on the site at the time, you get it or you don't. And here is where we can respond to Jack's message, and perhaps we'll get to see if this package is there in the system, and Jack can reply back to you. So if you have any questions, feel free.
Okay, so that's the end of the video portion of the discussion. I don't know if you guys can actually send messages to me right now, but basically that's the end of the demo. If you have any questions, I'm here for another 10 minutes or so. I can give you my phone number is 202 210-4074. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions, because okay. So basically, my name is Bijan Akili, and you can reach me at com or this phone number. So yeah, it's my pleasure to work with anybody who has any concerns or any questions. Any feedback is appreciated, and you can feel free to. And I will send this out to the message board to the Priscilla to distribute along with the video that you guys just saw. So I'll send this out. Priscilla will send this out. And if you guys have any questions, I don't see any questions here in the chat. I don't know if you can chat. So basically, I hope that we can, if you have any questions, I hope I can address your questions. And basically, that's pretty much the end of the demos. But we're going to have new functionality every quarter for the website, and you're going to be able to. Jenkins Rose input is going to be very important to me. So any input that you guys have, I will give priority to and really listen. And you have also access to me here since I'm going to be in the building. I'm in Unit 411. So 441. So if you have any questions, drop by. You can always ask me a question that way too. That's really don't have anything else to add right now. If you guys have any questions, again, reach out to me. And thank you very much for your time for viewing. You can contact me at 210-4074 if you have any questions right now. Otherwise, I'll wait here for a couple minutes, and if I don't get a call, then I'll basically end the presentation. This is what our website looked before. This is what it looks like right now. And this is what we're proposing it look like for us. As far as the public pages go, this is what we're proposing. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like right now. This is what we're proposing. And if we go back to how Jenkins Role looked, Hi, hello. You can see this is what it looked like in 2013. Oh, it looks like we're going to do a good job of that. Okay, well, anyway, it looks similar to to what you see here. So I'm not sure if we saw the task functionality of the board, so I'm just going to go there real quick and just reiterate that. I think we did, but this task area will be a key area that folks can take on, make decisions about projects, make decisions about both, basically various different things. And all of this will go through workflow approval. It goes through workflow approval, and we can configure how that workflow works for us. So. And just to say, this public pages will be there whether or not we accept the service. We'll be doing that as a volunteer service anyway. It's just the management of it will be a lot easier if we do. All of the pictures will not be included if we do it as a volunteer. Here for the website.
How's it going?
Yeah, how are you
Watching you on Monday.
Oh, is that you? How are you doing? I'm Bijan. Nice to meet you.
James.
Nice to meet you, James.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna send out the video that I don't know. Could you hear me on
You know what? We got you both. So you could hear the video, and I got to hear you.
there? Oh
and-
yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, you can get the gist of it, but it'll send out the video.
I'll send out the video so you can hear on your time, go back and forth. And some folks have requested to have access with the login. I'm going to set that up so that folks can log into it and just play around as different roles so you can.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. The big question I had was security.
Yeah.
We're putting all our stuff on there. You have some information about the residents. How's that handled? What's the plan for that?
Yeah, sure. So basically, the security is similar model as what we have in standard in the industry. Everything, obviously, the transport, everything is secure. All the pages are HTTPS. As far as our company's, security is a very, very important issue. Everybody obviously is concerned about security. We have a company, and we basically will be using all industry best practices to make sure that all your data is secure. There's never going to be access for any reason other than official Jenkins Road business. For example, the board will have access to everything. So that's the difference between us and the current system is that in the current system, the system is made for apartments.
Yep.
So the management and our vendors have access to everything. With this service, our board will have access to everything. Nobody else will have access to everything. So that's one of the underlying differences. Oh, okay, cool.
Laptop on.
Okay, cool.
Hi, Jeannie. How you doing?
Hello. Oh, okay. Well, that's a great question. Thank you so much. And this is going to be live for others to be able to view later on as well. So it's we are live. I should have said that. But anyway, and this will be on the YouTube forever and ever. So anyway, thank you so much for that question. But yeah, we'll be doing all the best practices to make sure that as far as information security goes, everything is going to be very well secured.
Fantastic. So you guys use somebody to host this site? Where will the site be physically?
Right. So what we'll be looking at the first. So right now everything is on the company's servers. We're going to be depending on the usage level, we may move that to a industry best practice. I don't know if you're familiar with these things or not, but basically it will be Amazon Cloud. So we'll be moving to the EC2. So we'll put it there depending on load and since we have servers in DC.
Right.
So basically, if that works out fine, we'll use that. But if people have any issues, we recommend they take
It sounds like you've got a small data center at your facility, and then you could move to Amazon.
Yes, this is the Comcast business, is what it is. But basically, we can always move to a better infrastructure in case we can.
And then you were talking about the board having, kind of flipping it around so they really have access to our stuff.
Yes.
Do they have access to all the residents? Can you know the things the residents can keep private to themselves?
Yeah. So by default, they have access to, like, for example, all the public forums, to any functionality. We have the chats aren't. We don't really keep track of the chats. If somebody complains about something, the board will have access anything in the system. But by default, they will have access to all the most common things that they care about. Resident information, phone numbers, etc. Anything that we have access to right now, basically anything that the management has access to right now, the board will have access to stuff like that.
And you guys, it sounds like your company does this. All that stuff's a double-edged sword, right? I mean, you've got to watch out whether the site offers something up, and then somebody complains about something, and then you get into issues of who has access to what. So you guys kind of know you can navigate those waters.
Yeah, I mean, the board, if they make a formal request, and this will be a in terms of some information, basically in our bylaws, basically, if they produce an investigation, they will make a request. And since we're like condominiums first, I mean, with our current provider, that would be the same thing. If the manager found there's some information that they need about, depending on whether they decide to grant that request or not, they would request it. It's going to be the same with us. We're going to keep some information. With regard to the question, though, for example, the concierge wouldn't be able to access everything about the building. Or some conversation committees, for example, we can have finance committee, we can have various supports for the projects and project scope documents, etc. So those residents will not have access to unless they're on the appropriate committee, and our vendors certainly wouldn't have access to it either, because this is our association.
I like that you were showing some of the features. A chat was cool, and just being able to chat with the concierge, right? That's kind of a neat feature.
Yeah, and that is certainly a good feature. Another one I
2014,
right? A feature I really would have enjoyed is since I live on that side, like by the Pennsylvania side, when I come here, sometimes I find the concierge is not at their desk. This will always give us metrics to kind of measure out. Basically, of course, they have a right to have a rate, etc. But service level agreements is something that a lot of residents have on their mind right now, especially we've changed a lot of the services in building, and we should be able to keep tabs on. It will be just another arrow in our quiver here to kind of keep our building running well and maintenance at a high level. Okay? So there's of course the login information reporting that out to committees could be able to request access to reports based on how long does the concierge traffic versus so
an easier way to measure comments, right? Hey, somebody did a really good job. Yeah. It's hard to do both, right? It's hard to really compliment people, and it's hard to also kind of point out where things can be changed. So.
Absolutely. And if there's more ideas, I'm here. I'm in Pokemon. Anybody who would like to have something pet peeve or something like that, as long as there's something makes sense, we'll do it right away. We have a good working power to.
That sounds like oh my God, you'll never get away from it.
Well, I think it's good because the current providers they cater to these departments. They have a lot of functionality actually, and we're going to be lower cost by about half the price. So I think that they are already catering to like hotels, apartments. A lot of, if you notice, apartments are much bigger market segment than condominiums are. So they have to go to the industry area. So, but really. There aren't any services that cater to condominiums, which is unfortunate because we are a big bunch of folks.
Yeah.
and I think
there's a lot of us too. So is that so I know that there's a differentiation between the two markets. And your company kind of focuses on the condo market,
only
right?
on condos only. So we're just going to focus on this. And then also, I'm going to say that we have front pages. A lot of folks have given feedback with regard to having front pages. We can do the front pages whether the board approves this or not. This is a volunteer service, but like some of the pictures were done by a photographer. He has an eye for buildings. So he does it. So, and we will continually update these. So there's there's a couple of projects that are happening around here.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have the project overview on top of things and continuously suggest and be able to provide these as part of the subscription service. And then basically, we'll be able to
So they'll update
those.
them kind of. I think the current site's pretty static. So I mean, so there sounds like there's a more dynamic piece to this.
Right. So this is our current site. So this is our current site's public pages. They don't really have public pages. They can put some documents for us, but nothing really to provide information to people who might want to find Jenkins along the way. And then we'll be able to also provide like brochures or like real estate packages. So like if somebody wants to do a showing in Jenkinsville, they don't have to start from scratch. We can have things for them, like a building ID or whatever, so that it's easy for realtors to do business at Jenkinsville, bring up that value, show it in the right light, basically put our best foot forward type of thing.
Any thought to like extending that to vendors and things like that? Place to register them, and
that's a great idea.
Deliver your stuff on the Potomac side, please.
That's a great idea. I mean, there's no reason why we can't have them as somebody who's a part of our community, especially with some of the more regular. I know there's a lot of people.
Dog walkers. I know we have like a pet care service we really like, so that those are people who are here. A good way an easy way to send out a note to all vendors. Somebody keeps leaving something somewhere, please stop.
This is basically a communication channel with our vendor community, and so basically, if we want to do business with Jenkins, there's a very clear path towards making a connection and maybe dropping a line to the right people that building. Maybe with our communications committee might be interested in hearing from vendors who are interested, so we can get alternate. We can kind of make it easier for us to have alternatives when we're considering, our landscaper.
You know what? That's a currently I know the current building management is they can't make recommendations. Sometimes they'll give you a few ideas of people that give you some names, things like that. They can't really make recommendations. Maybe that's something we can let the community itself do, talk about.
You might actually get your email in case any follow-up you're doing that.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But, there's a lot of wonderful ideas. I think that we have a lot of talented people in the building that actually have a lot of experience with a lot of different kinds of things that I can't even imagine. People who have been on Navy ships and stuff, who know how to do proper electrical stuff. All sorts of talented people here, people who work at C-SPAN in terms of communication. We talk about communication, they're experts on communication. So, some of these things are, we just have to, I think, recognize and foster our community. Whereas in an apartment, people are very big to come and go. They're trained, exactly. Whereas here we have, they established themselves. People who have residency who have been here since day one. I've been here since 2009. My mom's been here since 2007. So a lot of the other residents have been here for a long time. And I think that if we're able to harness that, obviously nobody has time to, go. The board already does a lot. We have to appreciate them for that. But maybe they can pitch in every once a year, a couple times a year to based on their expertise, and I think it could make a big difference.
Build up that committee's idea. I know that they've been trying to reinvigorate those, and that's a good place to do it.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll be in touch with you on that. If you ever have any questions, I'll be directly at your show.
Happy to help out. Thanks for spending the time.
Thank you, sir. How are you doing? Thanks for coming down. I really appreciate you put a face with the number. I kept switching back to see if it wasn't like a glitch or something. Thank you. All right. Well, wonderful to see you. Have a good evening. Take care. Okay, thank you for joining, and I'm going to be turning off the presentation now. Hopefully this was useful, and this will be available and basically for us to reference back to. Have a great day. Thank you so much.